Hey everybody, it's the 14th of January. This year I announced that I wasn't really going to be vlogging like I have. Essentially, I just need a bit of a break, but I felt inspired to do some updates today. I'm just having a little bit of a difficult time right now. Some days I'm totally fine. I don't even think about things. And then other days, like today, I just wake up overthinking things, extrapolating issues in my mind to the point where they seem cumbersome and overwhelming, and that's just not helpful. So what I've been doing lately is when I feel like that, or I feel like that's coming on, then I just get dressed and I do my makeup and I put on my jewelry. So it's nice to actually put on a nice outfit. I've been wearing clothing that I haven't normally worn in a while because it's kind of dressier, I suppose, especially these really long dresses that I have in my closet, but I really want to wear the clothing that I know makes me feel good. So I put on this beautiful dress. I've changed out of it now. This is not a dress, but I wore this nice, beautiful, flowing white dress and I felt really pretty. And I just went for a walk and I got outside. I got myself a 50% off bakery item from 6s and 7s. After 2 p.m. they do 50% off some of their cabinet food. So I got a Danish. I walked to the library. And so this update, I do want to talk about a couple books that I'm reading right now because I find myself with a bunch of heavy-hitting long books, so I like to talk about the things that bring me joy during the times when I'm feeling less than ideal. All right, so the first book, this is the book that I'm currently reading called The Will of the Many. It's from an Australian author. This is a crazy, thick, heavy sci-fi fantasy book. I say crazy because the font is so tiny and it's like 630 pages, but with such a small font, I feel like that should be illegal because it's just so long. It's really dense and it is a good book. It took a while to get into it, but it is a good book. It's just very difficult to establish some fantasy realms because they take so long introducing you to a new realm and the characters and the terminology and all of the way that the world works. It's all world building that takes a lot of mental capacity. It was very overwhelming when I first started reading it, but once I got into it, it is a really good book. It's just a very heavy one. And this book has been on my reserve list for quite a long time, so I've been waiting to read this for months now. So I feel almost like I need to read it fast because that's the considerate thing to do. Is when you have a popular book that you've waited months for, then that means there's other people waiting. So I always feel this pressure to just finish it as fast as possible so that the next person can read it on the list. Now the books that I picked up today is this one here, and it's called Project Hail Mary. This is a sci-fi book, and I'm really interested just to read a standalone book. So this is not fantasy, and you're not having to buy into a whole realm that they're trying to establish. It's just a sci-fi dystopian book set in the future. So that's kind of cool to switch it up a little from the fantasy realm. But then we go right back into fantasy. The other book I got today is the next book in a series I read before. And this is the completion to that duology. So I'm really excited to read this because the other one left on a cliffhanger. If you're curious, this is the Shepherd King series, and this is book 2. I hope this book is as good as the first one. It almost reads more like a young adult, to be honest with you, and the font is not too bad. I always like to check the font because it determines how fast I'll be able to get through it. And then finally, this book is the book 2 of a series I randomly found at the library by Melissa Blair. This is an Anishinaabe Indigenous Canadian author. So it was so cool when I found this book. Well, the first one, A Broken Blade, I found it randomly and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, this is a fantasy book. So I thought, let me support that author because why not? So this is book 2. This is a fluffy, easy to read, romantasy. It has world building, but it's not very complex to understand. It's basically kingdom with kings and queens and fairies. Anyway, those are the books I'm reading currently. I feel like reading is what gets me through a lot of the days when I'm feeling really down. I love to just pick up a book and get lost, especially in the fantasy world. So I've really recently gotten into fantasy books. I never used to read them, but I can see the appeal now. It's basically a total removal of reality from your own life and the world as we know it, and buying into a whole other world. Now, the other part of this update I wanted to talk about is my overconsumption. So last year I did an update where I talked about my overconsumption of beauty products, particularly skincare and hair care. That led me to using everything that I have, and I wasn't allowed to buy anything new until I used up what I had already. And so that was a priority for me me last year. I actually started doing a reduction process starting in May, and I'm finally starting to see the results of all that determination and discipline of not buying new stuff until I use up what I have, because this month, it's only January the 14th, and I already have like 10 empty products. This segment, I'm going to show you the products that I've actually managed to use up and declutter out of my house. So I'm very proud of this. I've kept them in a bag. I'll go through the products quickly to show you what I've used and maybe even a couple of my thoughts. If you find that relevant, then just keep watching. So this is what I'm going to call my Empties haul. Okay, so this would probably overwhelm a lot of people, but me, being the avid reader that I am, this actually provides me with so much joy that I have this much content to get through. But look at this. These are the books I'm reading on the go right now. It's so heavy too. Oh, God bless the Wellington City Library. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have access to free, beautiful literature to spend my days. And they're all sci-fi fantasy. That blue sticker is my favorite genre. All right, enough of the books. Let's put them in the background so that they have their moment. Okay, anyway, so this is back to the empty. So like I said, I have a baggie, and every day it seems like I have more products to add to the empties bag. It may be a little extreme to actually hold on to this stuff, but this is the stuff that excites me. This is progress, and it's right there in your face that all my hard work of diligently using this product to make sure I use all of it before it expires has paid off. Now this one I'm super proud of, because not only is it so gross from being in the shower for so long, it actually has water inside of it. It's not supposed to have water, but apparently you shouldn't keep this product in the shower because it actually is not waterproof. But anyway, I didn't know that. This is a hair mask that had toner put into it, and I think this is now 1.5 years old. And it took me forever to use this hair mask because I'm not a huge hair person. So when it comes to taking care of my hair, I don't really care. But anyway, I used it all. Would I repurchase this? No. It was a good hair mask, but it wasn't groundbreaking, and I don't really recommend it. It was very expensive as well. So finally finished this freaking shampoo. This was like 2 years old. It didn't irritate my scalp or cause me to break out or anything. So that was a plus to this Chi Keratin shampoo. But yeah, I don't really know if I'd repurchase this, but it did last. So it was worth the money because this lasted me like 2 years. This one I'm so proud of, another hair mask. This is the K18. This is a leave-in mask, so you don't actually rinse it out. You just put it in your hair when you get out of the shower. I actually have the last of it in my hair right now because I finished it yesterday. And this is very expensive, so I knew I was going to finish this to the last drop. So this 50 milliliter bottle was $120. Now this type of treatment was very essential for me when I had bleached my hair all the time because it was so damaged. I needed something to really repair the damage, and this actually does work. Would I repurchase this? No. But why not? Because I'm not bleaching my hair anymore and I no longer need to repair my hair. It's growing in nice and healthy. This is a dry shampoo that I finished. I really like this one from Dove. I would repurchase. This is a repurchase product. This is one of the only dry shampoos that I really like, and that I think actually works with me as well. I did a huge Korean beauty haul May last year where I ordered like $130 worth of skincare. Well, I'm almost finishing up all of that skincare that I purchased. Starting with this serum. This was supposed to be a brightening serum to help fade post-acne marks or dark spots on your face. I had 2 of these. I already finished one, and this was the second one. Now they're completely gone. Would I repurchase this one? I don't think so. I really don't think that a serum necessarily helps with dark spots. The only thing I think that will help fade your dark spots is an exfoliant, like a retinol. The turnover of your skin cells is what will help fade dark spots, not necessarily a brightening serum. So because this was expensive, I really don't think I'm gonna repurchase these, and I don't think I'm gonna buy any other serums that say they claim to brighten your skin. I just don't believe it, frankly. The only thing I'm gonna continue to buy is retinol. These were toner pads. They were calming water pads using carrot seed oil. This had 60 pads in. Yeah, 60 pads completely gone. I stopped using them on my face. They were a little bit too heavy for me. I have acne prone skin, so I found that they were breaking me out. So I started using the rest of the pads on my body using it and wiping down almost like a lotion. That's how I ended up finishing up this product. I still have a refill pack. I'm trying to actually sell the refill pack on Facebook Marketplace, but I haven't had any bidders right now. So would I repurchase? No. I had this so long, it was actually expired. This is a hyaluronic acid serum from a Japanese skincare brand. It was good, I just didn't like the format of it. It was a liquid. I much prefer serums to be like a thick kind of serum to put on your face, not a liquid. So I didn't like the format and the texture of this one, but I do have to say it is a high quality hyaluronic acid, so I do recommend it. Will I repurchase it? No. I have a little cleanser here, the little sample size of a La Roche-Posay cleanser. I hated this. It stunk so bad. I ended up using it mostly as a body wash in the shower. So would I buy it? No, I would never buy the full-size product. And I have to tell you, I have a bunch of other empty cleansers that have all been thrown in the trash, but all of those cleansers that I showed in the last update, they're all gone except for one. I've only got one cleanser left. I'm so proud of that. That gets a pat on the back because I had this cleanser craze, as you saw. So to only have one cleanser now in use, I'm very proud of that progress. Now to wrap up my empties, I have 2 makeup products. I can't believe this, but I actually finished this whole concealer. This is my favorite concealer, which is a perfect match for my skin tone. I don't know if you can see the bottom of the product in there. I've never finished a concealer before. I had another full-size backup for this that Masha brought me from Canada. So would I repurchase? Yes, I have, and I'm using it already. And then the last product is from Korea as well. This was a cushion foundation, and I actually had gotten the foundation plus a refill. So I took this one out, which is empty, and I put the refill in, which I'm going to work on using up soon. This part pops out of the compact, and then you can put the replacement in and keep the compact with the mirror. So that's pretty cool. This was the Espoir Pro Tailor Be Glow Cushion, and this actually has SPF 42 inside the foundation, which is pretty cool. And when you get a refill, they give you a new puff as well. So this old puff I was using, I get to discard because it is quite dirty, but this is what it looks like inside. It's just a sponge that's saturated in the foundation. Would I repurchase this foundation? No. I don't really think that it's an amazing formula for my skin. I'm very oily, and this makes me feel like I'm super oily at the end of the day, and it's not a very good color match for me either. So that is all the empties I've managed to have accumulated over the last couple months, and I'm so glad that I've kept these just to be a document that yes, you can use your products that you buy, even the ones that are hard to use like these that you only use once every couple months. Eventually you will finish them all if you put your mind to it. I also have a bunch of other products that are so close to being empty as well. I'm not even close to being ready to go buy more skincare because that's how much I had stockpiled. I've got lots of skincare still. Thank you for watching this update. Hopefully it was entertaining for you, and maybe I'll see you in another update. I'm not sure. My vlogging is very erratic these days. I really don't know when I'm going to be posting videos this year. See you in the next video.